Versus the New York Giants is going to be important for the Baltimore Ravens secondary to be able to communicate and match up versus the different passing concepts they're going to see. One of the Giants' favorite concepts that they like to run, grab my trusty black marker, they like to send this guy outside on a post. They like to send this guy across the formation, back check, out in the flat. This guy here is going to run a deep in route. So if you're the Baltimore Ravens, how do you match up versus this? What you're trying to do is effectively communicate and pass guys off. So if you're the corner playing off, you're getting good depth, trying to create a situation where you're trying to reroute this guy. But as soon as you see someone coming in and crossing into your area, your job is to close in on that. So you leave the receiver, you're taking the short route. So you close off that route. Now you have the nickel back who's dropping back into coverage. He's going to slow play this underneath, drift underneath, because he passed off the crosser to the backer who dropped. Sees the crosser, he closes in. This backer drops, sees the crosser, he closes in. Cornerback here tries to get a good bump, rides the outside, and rides that deep breaking in route. Once he sees this crosser coming as well, he can close in on it also because he knows he passed this thing off to the safety who's right here closing in on it. As the corner passes off, he knows he has a safety over top, squeezing this with this nickel back underneath. So this is one way. I know it's kind of crazy how it's drawn up, but this is how you have defensive coverage, poetry in motion, because guys are either following completely, then tailing off, passing off to the next guy, or baiting the quarterback in. I'm going to ride this route, but then I'm going to close in on a shorter route and take that away, try to rob that. Nickel is trying to ride underneath there, squeezing the post. So this is how they can effectively play coverage versus one of the more dangerous passing concepts. Is like a two-layered concept. You're going to have the in and the post. You're trying to influence the safeties, but if the corners and safeties are in unison with their communication, they can effectively take this away from the New York Giants. This week versus the Baltimore Ravens, the New York Giants passing game has to get into a groove early and often versus the Ravens. And I'm going to show you how they can do so utilizing a bunch set, because they're going to face a lot of pressure coming from that Baltimore secondary. Show you what we're talking about here. And I had this aligned this way because what we're going to do is put everybody in a situation where they can have success. We're going to take away the backside defender by utilizing the tight end on a split route. Try to have him split the corner and the free safety to take this guy out of the equation. We would rather our tight end run one-on-one with a corner or a safety. We'll take that matchup more often than not. And I say we as in if I'm the coaching staff. So what you want to do front side, you have Sterling Shepard on the line of scrimmage. We're going to have him run up into the corner, one of his favorite routes. He runs this route better than anyone I've seen in the division. Also, what we're going to do is bring in Odell Beckham in motion, and that's where we're going to create the the bunch set. So what we're going to have Victor Cruz do is slow play it, work his out route, because again, he's a guy you can dump the football off to quickly, and he can make one miss and get upfield. At the snap of the ball, after Odell Beckham is lined up right behind Sterling Shepard, he's running right down the seam, and that utilizes his skill set best because he's an explosive player, and you can take away two guys essentially. I'm pretty sure corner and a safety will be worried about what Odell Beckham is doing, leaving Sterling Shepard and Victor Cruz one-on-one with either a safety or a nickel back. So simple route concept that the Giants can utilize, putting everyone in the best position to have success. Tight end, backside, probably taking away a corner and or a safety. And front side, you could probably get at least one-on-one opportunity. If they can win those one-on-one matchups in the secondary this week versus Baltimore, I believe they can win the game.
The biggest X factor for the Baltimore Ravens in this ball game, I think, will be new offensive coordinator Marty Morningwig. I think this is the biggest unknown that they have in a positive way coming into this ball game. You don't know what plays he'll call. You don't know what his tendencies are with Joe Flacco at the helm. I think the Ravens got away from the running game last week versus Washington. But I think this week they can have much more balance, which will give them much better offensive output versus New York. So I think Morningwig and what type of game he calls could be the biggest difference in the outcome of this ball game. And for the Giants to look at Eli Manning, he has to play much better than what he's playing now. His placement has been spotty. His accuracy has been off a little bit. If any offense can get it going on a short notice, I think it can be this Giants passing game. But it all starts with the quarterback being able to do his part in being accurate and decisive, and also placing the football where it needs to be so his receivers can have success. Like the Giants in this ball game, I think they match up well defensively versus Baltimore's offense. Although Baltimore's defense is very good and has done a great job versus the pass, I think the Giants defense can do an even better job in keeping that offense of Baltimore sputtering and not having consistent success on game day. So I look at the Giants defense being the biggest reason why they win this game versus Baltimore.